Please stand by. Hello there, Kenyon. Welcome. How's your day going? And good afternoon. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. And there's Franklin as well. Welcome, Franklin. Hope your day is going well. Actually, it's past time for Strat-O-Matic, isn't it? A little late today. I went out to lunch with my cousin, and we went and walked around checking out a thrift store for a while. That's always fun. Found a couple little things I can use for organizing some of the things from the stream. A wire basket thing for score sheets and a little container to put my extra dice in. So on to today's game. We're still on May the 6th, 1966. And there's Ben. Greetings, Ben. Yes, a little twilight ball. There's Mike. Welcome to Mike. Hope your day is going well. Yeah, right? Kenyon mentioned Peters was a good pitcher, but a 1.98 ERA. I assume that was his best season. It must have been. Lefty for the White Sox pitching today against Denny McLain. 20-game winner in 66. Tigers at the White Sox. The Tigers come in 9-10. White Sox 7-9. Let's see what these pitchers did in the replay so far. Okay, Denny McLain has made 4 starts. He's 3-1 with 2 complete games. One of them a shutout, 3.48 ERA, 31 innings, 23 hits allowed, 20 strikeouts. Peters has made 3 starts. He's 1-2 with a 3.91 ERA, so almost 2 runs higher than the ERA on his card. 23 innings, 23 hits, 17 strikeouts. So that's your pitching matchup, and it's a good one. It should be a good one. And we'll get to the starting lineups here in just a second and set the defense for you. Here's the lineup for Detroit. Don Wirt, third baseman, will bat in the leadoff spot. Jerry Lumpy bats second. Storm and Norm Cash in the 3 spot. Al Kaline in the cleanup spot in right field. Good to see Willie Horton back in the lineup. He's missed a few games. He's back hitting the 5 spot. Bill Freehan bats 6th. Mickey Stanley hits 7th. Ray Euler at short today hitting 8th. And McLain, the pitcher, 9th. Boy, you're not kidding, Franklin. Kenyon looked up Peters. Yeah, 3.25 career. I mean, that is excellent. The White Sox defensively will have J.C. Martin catching Peters. The infield, Bill Skowron at first. Don Buford at second. Ron Hansen at short. Pete Ward at third, with the outfield left to right of Tommy McCraw, Tommy Agee, and Floyd Robinson. Trying to clear my throat there. I'll tell you, we went out to this Mexican place. It used to be a favorite. Hadn't been there in a while. Sad to report that it's gone downhill. I got the chorizo scramble, and it was maybe the worst chorizo I've ever had. Dry, it was more like hamburger helper chorizo. If that makes any sense. And Peters is ready to go. The umpire says play ball. And here's Don Wirt to lead things off for the Tigers. Don comes into the game hitting .293, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Absolutely, Franklin. Yeah, we'll never see another 30-game winner. and rarely a 20-game winner anymore. Peters gets the sign from Martin now. Here's the first pitch of the game to Don Wirt. That's going to be a 2-12 lefty, and he walks him. So just like that, a leadoff walk to Wirt. 13 stealer. Let's check the battery. Peters is 0. Martin is 0. Wirt not a star stealer, so he will not be held on. And here's Jerry Lumpy. Lumpy comes into the game at 280. 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Peters working out of the stretch now. Here's the pitch to Jerry Lumpy. 5-3, left-handed, grounded to the pitcher X. That'll be a 3-7. And here's the roll on the play now. It is a 16 error rating. The roll of an 8 on an E7. Peters to Hansen to Skowron. It's a double play. How about that? Nicely done by Gary Peters. 1-6-3. That erases the runner, and with 2 outs and nobody on, Norm Cash. And it's a long time, Ben says, my long time rivalry. So which side are you on, Ben? I'm guessing the Tigers, right? I think. I could be wrong. Cash comes into the game hitting just 206. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. Left on left now. Here's the pitch. 6-7 left-handed, a single on a 1, and look at that, it is a 1. That squirts past Skowron, and that'll be ruled a base hit, and Cash is aboard. Let's take another look at that one. 6-7 lefty, single on a 1, and he rolls the 1. Oh my goodness. Another 1 rolled by my loaded dice. Yeah, I thought where you're at is closer to your neck of the woods, so good guess, I suppose. And here's K-Line. K-Line leading the club in batting at .356. 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in, also leads the team. Peters staring in now from the stretch. Here's the pitch to K-Line. That's a 1-4 left-handed, and he pops him up. Left side, Hansen, and that will do it. So no runs to hit, 1 left. A walk and a double play. And after half an inning, it is Tigers 0, White Sox coming to bat. Trying to get my voice back, so bear with me. I felt like after that huge lunch, I either needed a nap or a good walk, and I had neither. And we'll get you the Chicago lineup now. Don Buford leading off. Tom McCraw will be in left field today, hitting second. Floyd Robinson bats third. Pete Ward in the cleanup spot. Bill Skowron hits fifth. J.C. Martin, the catcher, hitting 6th. Tommy Agee, for some reason, drops down to the 7th spot. Ron Hansen bats 8th, and Peters bats 9th. Tigers defensively, Bill Freehand will be catching McLean. The infield first to third of Cash, Lumpy, Euler, and Don Wirt. And the outfield left to right, Willie Horton, Mickey Stanley, and Al Kaline. Kalamazoo. That was a popular name for many fictitious Strat-O-Matic teams. Did you know that? That and Hoboken, of course. So here's Buford now to lead things off. Buford comes into the game. I'm trying to find him here. Just 226, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Switch hitter batting left against Denny McLean. McLean gets the sign from Freehand. Here's the pitch to Buford. It's a 4-7 lefty, double to 6 on the 14. That's going to hold up in left field for Horton, who makes the catch for the out. And there's one away. And here's Tommy McCraw now. McCraw Where is McCraw? Oh my God, McCraw comes into the season. Are you ready for this? He's 5 for 44 so far. That's 114. No homers, just 3 runs batted in. Played mostly first base this year, but he's been at left field the last couple of games. McLean into the windup. The pitch to McCraw is a 5-4 left-handed. A fly to center field X. That's going to be Stanley. A 2-E-2. Stanley, a fine center fielder. And as he ranges back and to his right, here's the play. On an 8, he's there to flag it down. Nice running catch by Mickey Stanley. So 8X, McCraw retired. I remember I've got a gal in Kalamazoo. That was, I want to say, Benny Goodman. And here's Floyd Robinson now. Floyd hitting .317, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. McLean the windup, the pitch to Robinson. That's going to be a 1-7 right-handed fly to center. That's going to hang up nicely for Stanley, who drifts under it and makes the catch to retire the side. So a 1-2-3 inning for McLean. And we're through 1 incomplete, and wow about that, we're scoreless. What else is new, right? Gary Peters getting ready to work in the second. Peters, despite a fantastic card, again, just 1-2, with a 3.91 ERA on the season so far. And here's Willie Horton to lead things off. Horton's been absent from the lineup for a few games, probably a minor injury of some sort. He's batting .320 on the season, 16 for 50. Leads the ball club in home runs with 4, and he has 10 RBIs. Peters into the windup. Here's the pitch to Horton. It's a 2-8 left-handed comebacker. Peters snares it over to first, right in his good column. He finds the ground ball to the pitcher. 1-3. Horton is out, and here's Bill Freehand now. Bill, he is hitting, where is he? Oh my God, 179, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. That's the one I know, Ben. What's the other one? You said there's 2 songs about kazoo. It was Glenn Miller. There you go. I said Benny Goodman. Glenn Miller. Absolutely. I had it wrong. I knew that. I just said the wrong guy. Here's Freehand now. Peters to wind up on the pitch. It's a 1-5 left-handed. It's a grounder to short. Slow roller, Hansen charging. How he's got it and throws to Skowron, 2 down. So nice play, Hansen. And here's Mickey Stanley with 2 away. Stanley comes into the game hitting .275. No homers, 4 RBIs. Yes, absolutely. Significantly so, Kenyon. And here's the pitch to Stanley now. It's going to be a 4-8 right-handed fly ball into center. AG drifts back and puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Peters. Pitchers duel so far as we go to the bottom of the second, scoreless. And welcome Jeffrey. Jeffrey's here. I have to move this thing down so I can see the chat. Question, do I do super advanced ground balls and infield in? Super advanced ground balls. I'm not quite sure how to answer that. When my cousin accidentally spilled coffee on my instructions, my rule book today, so I have to print off another one. I have not done that yet. I do use, okay, I'll tell you what I do use, the super advanced ground ball result chart. I think that's what you mean, but I don't follow it exactly. In other words, I just do the ones that I think make sense to me. Let me find an example here. Runner on third. No, that's not it. Maybe it's second and third. Ground ball A. Yeah, that's it. It's number 5. If hit to second or short, batter out, runners advance. In other words, in any situation where it's a ground ball to shortstop and there's a runner on second, I never advance them. I realize sometimes the ball would be hit at the bag behind the runner, but most balls to short are in front of the runner. And one thing I know from playing baseball is you never run from second when the ball's hit in front of you. At least that's what they teach you fundamentally. So that's the way I play it. I will have them go from second to third on a grounder to second base or first base, never on a ground ball to short. Does that make sense? Here comes the Tigers in the bottom of the second. Pete Ward will be leading things off. Ward comes into the game batting .278, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs on the season. McLean into the windup now. And we got a dice down on the floor as Ward fouls one off. They'll get a new ball out to McLean. He's rubbing it up now. And the next pitch to Ward. 3-11 right-handed. It's a ground ball to short. Routine for Euler. Over to Cash, 1 down. And here's Bill Skowron. Skowron comes into the game at .237. 2 home runs, only 2 RBIs, so 2 solo homers. McLean gets the sign from Freehand. Here's the pitch to Bill Skowron. 6'9" right-handed. It's a triple to 3 on a 4. He just misses it. Backing up is Stanley and makes a fine catch backing away from the play for the second out of the inning. Again, I apologize for my voice. I just lost it this afternoon after that huge lunch, of which I should have only eaten about half of. I keep telling myself that. Don't have the appetite I did 20 years ago, you know what I mean? If I go out to eat, I should automatically just assume I'm going to eat half and have them box up the rest. Oh my goodness, it's just too much food. Here's Martin now, the left-handed hitting catcher. Martin is batting .375, just 6 for 16. 1 home run. It was a solo shot, 1 ribby. That's where I know Kalamazoo from, too. Yes, that's where the guys from the Strat-O-Matic Review were headquartered. In fact, they had a running keeper league called the Greater Kalamazoo Northwest Strat League or something like that. Here's the pitch to Martin. 1-5, struck him out. So McLean's been flawless so far, and we're through 2 innings scoreless here in Chicago on the south side, as Ben says. That's right. Oswego, I remember that too. I forgot all about that. Yeah, I subscribed to that. It was a good little magazine. I wonder whatever happened to that. Otsego? How would you pronounce that? I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. Otsego. We move to the second in this ball game. Ray Euler will lead it off. Euler playing short today in place of, let's see, who is normally there? McAuliffe. McAuliffe gets a day off. Euler's only been in 2 ball games this season. He's 0 for 4. Peters staring in now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Euler. 4-6 righty, and he pops him up. Right side, Skowron's there, and Euler is retired. Otsego. Thank you, Ben. There it is. Well printed out, too. Easy to understand. I appreciate that. Here's McLean now. He's a right-handed hitter, 3W. Peters the pitch to him. 6'9", right-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. Down goes the pitcher. Not all that surprising, right? 2 away, and here's Don Wirt. Wirt walked to lead off the game. Was erased on the double play. Peters into the windup. Pitch to Wirt is a 2-7 left-handed, and he pops him up again, this time on the left side to shortstop. Hansen has it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Peters. So both pitchers very much on their game here in the early going. And the White Sox will come to bat here in the bottom of the third. Bottom of the order, Agee, Hansen, and Peters. Tommy Agee comes in hitting just 174, no home runs, 6 RBIs. Wow, let's look at this card. He hit 22 home runs that year, 273. Looks like he played damn near every game with 629 at-bats. Terrible walk to strikeout ratio, so apparently he was a free swinger. Of course, I remember him with the Mets. McLean into the windup. Here's the pitch to Agee. I was going to say Agee, 1-8, swung on and missed strike 3, and down he goes. Agee and Cleon Jones, probably the best players, non-pitchers that is, on that Met team. We know who the best player was. Hall of Fame right-hander by the name of Seaver. Here's Ron Hansen. The windup and the pitch to Ron is going to be a 4-8 right-handed, single to 8, and that's down for a base hit. Single into right field, K-line on it quickly. Hansen rounds, and he'll hold it first. And here's Peters now. Peters, a 4-hitter's pitching card, left-handed batter with end power. He is also a B bunter. So that presents an interesting situation. I'm going to let the dice decide it. 1-3, it's in. It'll be back. That's the way I was leaning anyway, because I'm going to have him hit away. Left on, right on left. Here's the pitch, 1-5. Base hit. How about that for Peters? 1-5, single to center. It's an open single. Hansen can advance to third. 11. Stanley a -110. No, thank you. He'll hold up at second. And the White Sox have something going here in the bottom of the third. First and second, one down. And here's Don Buford. Switch hitting Buford. Flew to left his first time up. McLean checks his runners now from the stretch. 6'8 left-handed, swung on and missed. 6'8 right-handed, no left-handed. Jeez, get it together, Freddie on. 6'8 struck him out. Let me make sure I've got that. 6'8 left-handed, that's right. Struck him out. Those switch hitters sometimes throw me for a second. We'll get there. 2 out. And here's McCraw. Do you ever have that problem, Ben? How's your strat playing coming along? For you guys that don't know, Ben Witz just recently purchased his first ever Strat-O-Matic game. Here's Tom McCraw now with 2 down. McLean with the delivery, 1-8 right-handed. That's a ground ball to second. Lumpy will go the short way to Euler, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on. We're through 3 innings in a scoreless tie. Oh, nice. 8-team Midwest League. 4 AL and 4 NL. That makes a lot of sense. You know, it's enough to have a league, and it's small enough to still be manageable. How many games are you playing? I mean, how many in the schedule? By the way, we're moving to the top of the fourth now. Jerry Lumpy will lead things off for Detroit. 0 for 1 today. Left-handed hitting second baseman standing in there. Left on left. Peters, the delivery is a 5-10 left-handed. Grounds it to third base X. That's going to be Wirt. Wirt, a fine third baseman. 2E13. To his left now. Here's the play. Whoops. Here's the play. 11. That's the E rating. It'll be a 10 on a 13. Fine play by Wirtz. Nice stop. Throws him out. 1 away. 5-3X. Lumpy retired. 42 games. Very good. I think the first thing I ever did was 42 games, if I remember correctly. Of course, that was, longer ago than I care to admit. Oh, what the hell, I'll admit it. It was 54 years ago. That's right. 1970. Norm Cash singled his first time up. Only hit of the game for Detroit so far. Peters, left on left. Here it is, 4-10. That's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Euler. No, that's not Euler. Wait a minute. That's Hansen. That's right, the Tigers were bad. I beg your pardon. I apologize, guys. I'm not 100% focused today for some reason. Get it together, Steve. Ground ball to short X, that will be Ron Hansen. He's a 3E48. Ranges into the hole. Here's the play. A 5 on a 3. Diving stop by Hansen to his feet. Throws him out. Oh, my goodness. He showed off his arm on that one. What a play by Ron Hansen. So 2 X plays, 2 down. And here comes Al Kaline. Kaline 0 for 1. Peters staring in now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Kaline is a 2-3. Base hit into left field. Kaline with a line drive base hit. And he's on first with 2 down. And let's look at that. Kaline not a threat to steal. Here's Willie Horton. Horton happy to be back in the lineup. A lot of power, especially against left-handed pitching. Peters staring over. Throw over to first. Kaline back in. Now it comes set from the stretch. Pitch to Horton, a 5-6 righty. It's a fly to left field. McGraw backing up a bit. He'll take it to retire the side. No runs to hit, 1 left. So both pitchers just sailing along so far. We go to the bottom of the fourth in a scoreless duel. Denny McLain and Gary Peters. Another case of the pitchers living up to the billing. The advanced billing of the matchup, right? Even though technically I did not post this game in advance since I didn't know when I was going to be home today. But we could, in make-believe land, there was advanced billing of this being quite the pitching matchup. So here's Floyd Robinson leading off for the White Sox in the bottom of the fourth. He flew to center his first time up. And there's Gerald. Welcome to Gerald. I vaguely remember, well, I can't say I remember George Kell. I do remember reading about George Kell. I know who he is. McLain to Robinson. That's going to be a 4-4 left-handed. Grounder to third base X. That'll be Wirt. Wirt's tested again with that Sterling 2E13. Here's the play on a 16. He's got it. Throws him out. Another nice play by Wirt. Boy, we might have to, Gerald. You're not kidding. How have these teams fared offensively on the season? We can take a quick look at that. The Tigers as a team are hitting .267 with 26 home runs. White Sox not hitting quite so well. They're batting .240 as a team with just 13 home runs. So the Tigers certainly have a more potent offense. And here's Pete Ward. Ward 0 for 1. McLean, the windup and the pitch. 4-2 to the lefty. Gets a fly ball into right field and shallow. K-Line coming fast now. He's there. And makes the catch for the out. And here's Skowron. Skowron 0 for 1. McLean staring in. The windup. The pitch to Bill Skowron. 3-8 right-handed. Grounder to short. That's Euler. Over to Cash. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Denny McLean. And we're scoreless through 4. Good point, Gerald. In fact, let's look at the numbers in the replay. The team stats, I mean. The White Sox with a 3.30 team ERA, just fantastic. The Tigers 4.45, so a huge difference there. So while the Tigers are the better hitting team, the White Sox clearly with the better pitching. Making for a very interesting matchup. It's similar to the Angel-Yankee game just recently played. One team with much better pitching and the other with much better hitting. In that game, the hitting won out. We'll see what happens today. To the 5th we go. Bill Freehan will lead things off for Detroit. Freehan 0 for 1, grounder to short his first time up. Peters now gets the sign from Martin. Here's the windup. The pitch to Freehan is a 2-7 left-handed, single to 4, and down to 1. That's down. Knocked down at third by Ward, but he won't have a play. That'll be an infield single for Bill Freehan. Freehan, one of the few catchers who you got to keep an eye on the base paths. Peters a 0, Martin a 0. He'd be a 14 if he could get that lead. He's not a star. He'd have to roll for it, and he doesn't have to be held. However, in this kind of a scoreless game, they are going to hold him on and make him a 12. I'm not taking any chances. Here's Mickey Stanley now. Flew to center his first time up. Peters working from the strip. The left-hander deals 3-4. Grounder to short. Hanson to Buford to Skowron. Double play. So Stanley hits into the double play. It erases the runner. 2 out, nobody on. And here's Euler. And welcome there, Frank. Frank S. Good to have you, sir. Hope your evening is going well. 2 down, and here's Euler now. Euler playing for his glove, not his bat. And here's the pitch from Peters. 3-10, and he walks him. How about that? Boy, every time I say something like that, Strat proves me wrong. How many times have I said that about a pitcher, and then the pitcher went and got a hit? It happens. Here's McLean, 1 on, 2 down, right-handed batter. And the pitch is a 1-2, liner to short, snared by Hanson. Line out to the max, in fact. In this case, the max is 1. The Tigers are retired in the 5th. No runs ahead, a man left. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless. J.C. Martin will lead it off for the Sox in the bottom of the inning. Left-handed hitting catcher 0 for 1. Here's the pitch to Martin. It's 6-5 left-handed. Grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Euler, 2E28. Euler into the hole. On a 19, he's there to make the play. Throws him out, one down. So 6-3X, Martin is retired. Here's Tommy Agee. Struck out his first time against Denny McClain. Agee really needs to get it going. Enjoying a subpar season so far. Well, I'm not sure how much he's enjoying it, but he's certainly experiencing it. And here's the pitch from McClain. 4-6 right-handed, and he walks him, ball 4. So Agee with the walk, and he's got wheels. Oh man, does he ever. Star 17, 1-17 runner. McClain, a -2 hold. Freehand, a -3, so that's as good as it can be. That's a -5. That knocks Agee down to a 12. And there's no reason to even hold him on. So they will not hold him on. And Ron Hansen is the batter. Hansen singled his first time up. So the great hold combination of McClain and Freehand keeping Agee tied up at first. Pitch from the stretch, and we've got a dice down on the floor. That's a foul. Strike 1. McClain rubbing up a new ball. From the stretch, the pitch to Hansen is a 5-5 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the 4th K of the ball game for Denny McClain, and brings up the pitcher, Peters. Left-handed batter with end power. The pitch from McClain. 5-7, and he walks him. Oh my goodness. McClain, the unpardonable sin of walking the opposing pitcher. And now the White Sox have first and second 2 down, and here comes Buford. Buford's 0 for 2. Switch hitter. Buford was a dangerous hitter with Baltimore. I remember him more with Baltimore, of course, but here he is. McClain staring in now, checks the runners. From the stretch, the pitch to Buford is a 5-5 left-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that will do it. So McClain getting tough with runners on base, 2 Ks. That's 5 in the game now. And we are scoreless through 5 innings complete. And Franklin's team, I now know, is Baltimore. See that? I finally got it right. Tell me something enough times, Franklin, and even I'll remember it. Top of the order for Detroit as we move along to the 6th. Wirt 0 for 1 with the walk today. Here's Peters now, the windup. The pitch to Wirt. That's going to be a 3-11 lefty. Fly to left field and playable. Tommy McCraw is right there to make the catch, and there's one away. Yeah, you know, I even thought about 69. I didn't do it because I knew Jeffrey was doing it. I didn't want to do the same one. But that was my very first card set, so obviously sentimental value there. Here's Lumpy, 0 for 2. Left on left. Peters with the pitch, a 1-6. Grounder to first. Skowron has it. He'll take it himself. And there's 2 down. And here comes Stormin' Norman, 1 for 2 today. Cash, another player who really needs to get going for his team's sake. He came into the game hitting just 206. Peters into the windup. 3-4. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. I'll say he got going. Back goes Robinson, way back and gone. And the Tigers are on the board on a home run by Norm Cash. For Cash, his 4th home run of the year. That ties him with Northrup for the club lead. And Detroit jumps out in front 1-0. So somebody finally scored here. And here's K-Line. Al K-Line, 1 for 2. Nice firework action there, Ben. And here's K-Line. 5-8 right-handed at the grounder to second base X. That'll be Buford. 4E39. Hold your breath on this one. It's a 19, and he makes the play. How about that? So 4-3X, K-Line retired. I've said it before, that's where these White Sox get in trouble, is with that middle infield defense. It is freaking scary. You've got a 4E39 at second and a 3E48 at short. Whoops, I put in a 0. I beg your pardon. Oh my goodness, snap out of it. Give me a second here. I'm gonna get a drink of water and pull my head together here. Just a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm telling you guys, I swear it was that big lunch. It just knocked the wind out of my sails. Yeah, in fact, it has already, Kenyon. 64 Phillies as played. That's a good one, Mike. I remember that's the historic collapse, right? When Mock went to the 3-man rotation down the stretch. Well, you got that right, Mike. Hell, the 66 Orioles is a beast of a team. So a home run by Cash. McLean's staked to a lead now as he goes to the bottom of the inning. McCraw, Robinson, and Ward due for Chicago. Tommy McCraw is 0 for 2 today. McLean getting the sign now. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 6-9 left-handed. It's a high fly ball to right field. Backing up K-Line on the track. Makes the catch for the out. It's a loud out by Tom McCraw. And here's Floyd Robinson. Robinson 0 for 2. Hang on, I got to refresh this. I don't have the whole thing in frame. There it is. Here's Robinson, left-handed hitter. McLean the windup now. There's the pitch. It's going to be a 6-9 left-handed. Same number, high fly ball to right. K-Line back. He's used to it by now. Backs up on the track and takes it for out number 2. So 2 loud fly balls to right handled by K-Line, and here's Pete Ward. McLean gets the sign. The pitch to Ward is a 3-7, single to 5 on a 9. That liner's right into the glove of Jerry Lumpy. A little soft looper right into the glove of Lumpy, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Denny McLean. And we're through 6 here in Chicago. It's 1-0 Detroit. And Gerald has, the 10-game lead, Mike. Thank you. '69, which Franklin intends to rectify. And Gerald's were... Oh, yeah. I absolutely remember watching that series. Quite a duel here today. 1-0 Detroit. They'll send up Horton, Freehan, and Stanley in the 7th. Both pitchers have been on their game. Cash got a hold of one, hit it out to right field, and that's it. So here's Horton now, 0 for 2. Peters into the windup. That's going to be a 2-6 left-hander. High fly ball crushed to deep left field. McGraw takes a step back and then just stops and watches it go. It's halfway up the seats. Home run, Willie Horton. His 5th of the season. So Tigers with the long ball here, and it's 2-0 Detroit. And you know they're happy to have Horton back in the lineup. And here's Bill Freehand now, 1 for 2. Peters an S8, so we're not concerned with that at this point. It's a 2-9 lefty. It's a high fly ball to... That's not flat. That's going to be a re-roll on the 20. It's a high fly ball to left field. Back, and gone. Home run, Freehand. And the Tigers go back-to-back. 2-9 lefty to 14. It's a 12. First die was definitely not flat on the 20, which called for the re-roll, and he got it with the 1 through 12. Or rather, he got the 12 on the 1 through 14, to be more correct to say. 3 of the last 4 Detroit batters have homered, and now there's action in the Chicago pen as Bob Locker begins throwing. Martin out to the mound now. Peters nodding. Now Martin settles back behind the plate, and here's the windup and the pitch to Mickey Stanley. 5-9 right-handed, fly ball into right field, playable for Robinson. And that's the first out of the inning. 3-0 Tigers here now. And here's Euler. Euler 0 for 1 with a walk. The windup and the pitch is a 1-7. Ground ball shortstop. Hansen to Skowron. And that'll bring up McLean. Right-handed hitter. The pitch from Gary Peters. 3-9 struck him out. So back-to-back homers from Horton and Freehand. Put the Tigers up 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. McLean also an S8 for endurance, same as Peters. McLean's only surrendered 2 hits in this ball game so far, both singles. Thank you, Gerald. I remember the 71 Clemente series. I believe that was also the one that had the really well-pitched game by Blass before he got the yips. Here's Skowron 0 for 2. McLean gets the sign. The wind-up, the pitch is a 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Lumpy, a 4E8. Lumpy behind the bag. Here's the roll on the play on a 3. He's not going to get to that. It's a base hit. So a leadoff single for Skowron. Skowron very slow, of course. He's not going anywhere. And here's J.C. Martin, left-handed hitting catcher. McLean from the stretch now. The pitch to Martin. 4-4 left-handed. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Word at 2E13. This could be 2. Word to fine third baseman. Here's the play. It's a 3. He makes an insane diving stop, but his only play is to first, and he gets him. Runner will move to second. So it's a web gem by Wirt. 5-3X exclamation. On a C, Skowron moves up a base. So 1 out runner in scoring position. And Tommy Agee will be the batter. Agee 0 for 1 with a walk. McLean checks the runner now to the plate. Here's his offering, a 6-2 right-handed. Grounder to third. Word has it. Over to Cash. And Wirt's handling everything this inning. A runner will stay at second. And that'll bring up Ron Hansen. Hansen 1 for 2. McLean gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Hansen. 3-7 righty. Fly ball into left field. Horton barely has to move and puts that one away to retire the side. So no runs, a hit, 1 left. We're through 7. It's Detroit 3, Chicago nothing. And for Peters, this will almost certainly be his last inning of work as he's due to lead off the bottom of the 8th. So moving to the top of the 8th, Detroit will send the top of the order up there. Wirt, Lumpy, and Cash. If anybody gets on, K-line. Wirt's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Peters staring in. Here's the pitch to Wirt. 5-4 right-handed. Catcher's card X. That's going to be Martin. He's a 2-7. And here's the roll on the play. On a 1, it's a foul out to the catcher. So play made by Martin. 1 down. And here's Jerry Lumpy. Jerry 0 for 3 today. Peters left on left now. Pitch to Lumpy on a 4-4. Fly to right field and shallow. Here comes Robinson, still coming. Just does catch up to it and makes the catch for the second out. And with 2 down and nobody on, here's Norm Cash. Cash 2 hits today, including a home run in the 6th. Peters staring in now. The windup. Storm and Norman. 1-6. Swung on and missed strike 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Peters. He finishes it with a flourish. But he will exit the game trailing 3-0. Moving to the bottom of the 8th, we'll have a pinch hitter for Peters to lead things off. So for Gary Peters, 8 innings, pitched a good ball game. Gave up 3 big flies, all solo shots. 6 hits total. He walked a pair. And he struck out, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's it, huh? 3, okay. Locker ready, he'll come in. Bob Locker, the righty. And right now they'll need a pinch hitter. See, they use Smokey Burgess in real life. That's good enough for me. We're looking for a left-handed hitter. Smokey's a left-handed hitter. He batted .313 that year in limited action. I'm guessing he was getting long in the tooth by this time, Smokey Burgess. I remember him from my reading, too. I don't remember him literally. He was before my time. But I know a little bit about Smokey Burgess. He was a good hitting catcher. God, look at that defensive rating. At this point, you wouldn't even want to catch him. A 5+5? Oh, my God. Go ahead and steal, everybody. Smokey's catching. Right? He could hit, though. Let's see what he's done in the replay. He's been in 4 ball games. He's just 0 for 3 so far. McLean ready to work now. Pitch to Burgess, 5-7, and he walks in. So Burgess with the leadoff walk. He's very slow, but he's not the tying run, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. It would be different if he was the tying or go-ahead run. I'd get a runner in there, but 3 runs down. He can go station to station. Here's Buford, 0 for 3. McLean staring in now from the strip. That's going to be a 4-8 to the left-hander. A triple to 6 on a 20. That's going to hang up in center for Stanley, who runs it down for out number 1. So another nice play for Mickey Stanley. And here's Tom McCraw. He's 0 for 3 today. McLean staring in now. From the stretch. Pitch to Tommy is a 4-9. It's a single. 2 right, 2 stars, 4-9 homer in, and McCraw is a weak, so that's going to be a single 2 stars. Even the slow as mud Burgess ends up at third base on that one. In fact, McCraw had thoughts of going to second, but he holds up. Stanley gets it back in. And now there's action in the Detroit bullpen as one more hitter walk will fatigue McLean, and he's throwing a shutout. God, I would hate to have to take him out throwing a shutout. So let's see who we're going to get up. They used no one in relief in real life, so we're on our own here. They're going to get up the closer, Larry Sherry. That makes the most sense to me. So Larry Sherry loosening. And Floyd Robinson will be the batter. Let's check McCraw for speed now. Oh, he's a star 15 stealer, and he gets the lead 2 through 12. But McLean a -2. Again, Freehand with a -3. That takes him down to a 10, so they're not going to hold him, saying basically if you want to go 1 through 10, go for it. So the runners will stay put. First and third, 1 down. Here's Floyd Robinson. Floyd represents the tying run at the plate, remember. McLean from the stretch. The pitch to Floyd is a 3-7, and he walks to load the bases. And how about that? McLean is fatigued. Holy cow. Boy, when it unravels, it happens fast, doesn't it? Boy, if he tired and the game wasn't on the line, I'd probably let him go for the shutout. But the Tigers are trying to win a ball game here, so they can't worry about the shutout. Here comes Dressen, and that's going to do it. Oh, man, that's a shame. You guys know I hate to see that for any pitcher. McLean ends up going 7 1/3. Has not allowed a run yet. Wow, only 4 hits allowed. I'm shaking my head. I can't believe he has to come out of this game. This is one of the things in Strat-O-Matic where this particular situation just does not feel right realistically. But I got to get him out of there. You really don't have a choice here. Let's see, he walked 4. That was his undoing, the walks. 2 of the walks in this inning. 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. And here comes Sherry. So Larry Sherry, who led the ball club in saves in real life with 20, which was quite a lot of saves for that period. Let's see what he's done in the replay so far. Sherry's been in 6 games, no record but 4 saves, and a sterling 1.17 ERA across 7 2/3 inning of work, in which he's only allowed 3 hits. So his card has been splendid so far. And he'll be coming on here to face Pete Ward. Bill Skowron on deck. Bases loaded, 1 out. It's 3-0 Detroit, but the White Sox are threatening here in the bottom of the 8th. They have the tying runs on base with 1 out. Larry Sherry's ready to work now. Pete Ward, left-handed hitter, 0 for 3 so far today. And here is the pitch to Ward. It's going to be a 5-4 left-handed. It's a grounder to third X. Oh, good. That's work. Okay, it's work. 2E13. Wirt's a good third baseman. This could be 2. Infield was back, remember. It's a 5 on a 2. Fantastic play by Wirt, but his only play is to first, and a run will score. Everyone will move up. That's an RBI for Pete Ward. So that's going to go 5-3 with the infield back. Burgess will cross the plate easily. McCraw into third, Robinson into second. And that'll be an RBI for Ward. It's 3-1. 2 outs, however. Tying runs in scoring position, and here's Skowron. Sherry trying to close this door on the inning. Skowron trying to pick him up. Skowron's 1 for 3 today. Oh, Frank, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. It doesn't feel as easy from my end, I want to tell you that. Especially not today. I feel like I'm walking uphill in mud. Here is Skowron. Tying runs out there. The crowd holding its breath, and here's the pitch to Bill Skowron. It's a 6-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Skowron, and down go the Sox. They do get a run on 1 hit, but they leave the tying runs in scoring position. And at the end of 8 complete, it is Detroit 3, Chicago 1. A huge missed opportunity there for the White Sox. Fantastic relief pitching by Larry Sherry. And here comes Locker now. He's going to come in and pitch for the White Sox. And oh, hell yeah, Ben, anybody would. You got to be happy with that. So he got a 6-6 K. I wonder what, let's see what that would have been on Denny McClain, just for fun. Grounder to third, so he'd have got the out. Because he'd had to face the previous batter too, and I forget what that role was. If somebody remembers, I'll look on his card. But let's see what Locker's done in the replay. Bob Locker has been in 8 ball games. He's 1-2 with 2 saves, a splendid 1.59 ERA across 11 1/3 innings of work. So he's seen a lot of action. And he'll be facing Kaline, Horton, and Freehan in the top of the 9th. Al Kaline 1 for 3 today. Locker ready to go now. The sign from Martin, the wind-up, the pitch to Kaline. It's going to be a 1-5 right-handed, and he walks him. A leadoff walk to Kaline. Kaline, good base runner, not a threat to steal. And that'll bring up Willie Horton. Willie, glad to be back in the lineup today. 1 for 3 with a home run. Locker checks the runner. Now from the stretch. Pitch to Willie Horton. 1-6. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Top notch. Oh, I just saw this by Kenya. This game features another top notch 4x100 relay team. Burgess, Lumpy, Skowron with Ron Hansen as anchor leg. And someone said, Ben said, would you time that with a stopwatch or a sundial? And Franklin replied, with an hourglass. 2 down, and here's Freehan. He also has a home run today. He's 2 for 3. Sorry, 1 down. 1 on, 1 out. Not 2 down. 1 on, 1 out. From the stretch, it's a 1-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So after walking the first man, Locker fans Horton and Freehan, and now here's Mickey Stanley. Mickey 0 for 3 today. Locker from the stretch. It's a 6-8 to Stanley. Single to 7 on a 3. That's down for a single, a 1-star single. Kaline will have to hold at second. And it's first and second, 2 down. And that will bring up light-hitting Ray Euler. Now, if this were a situation where the Tigers really needed to score, they'd probably bat for Euler here. But they like to keep his glove in the lineup. So he's going to hit. 0 for 2 with a walk. From the stretch now, a pitch to Euler, 6-7. Grounder to second base X. That's Buford. 4E39, here's the play. On an 8 E rating, an E11 on a 39. Would you look at that? The roll of 11, the only roll where he doesn't commit an error. How about that? He makes the play. 4-3X side retire on a rather surprising play by Don Buford, I must say, and they leave 2 men on. No hits a run. No runs a hit, rather. Sorry, excuse me. Man, I'm punchy. No runs a hit. There was a walk. They left 2 on. Let's check their defense now. See what else they've got out there. You could replace Horton in left. And they don't really have much better options at second, but we will replace Horton in left. Don Demeter will come in and take over in left. He's a 2E7 -1. So Horton's out of the game. Demeter in for defense. Sherry, who put out the fire in the 8th, looking to close it out. It'll be Martin, Agee, and Hansen for Chicago. J.C. Martin, 0 for 3 today. Left-handed batter. Sherry gets the sign from freehand now. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a re-roll, obviously. Next pitch, 1-5, struck him out. Martin down on strikes. 1 down, here's Agee. Larry Sherry, 2 outs from the save. And a Detroit win. Agee, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Sherry stares in now, the windup. The pitch to Tommy Agee. 2-10 right-handed. Fly to right, that's playable for K-Line. He's right there. And the White Sox are down to their last out. Is it going to be Hansen? I don't think it will be. Let's see what else we've got. Might very well be, though. Despite his low average, he had a .322 on base that year. Now they're going to hit for him. We're going to send up John Romano. John Romano with 2 outs comes off the bench. Romano in the replay. 14 for 43, 326, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. So no easy out here with 2 down and nobody on. Sherry staring in now. Here's the pitch to Romano. On a 2-12, he walks him. Romano draws the walk. And now we'll have to have a hitter for the pitcher. Let's see what else they've got. Do they have a left-handed bat left? This guy's horrible. They don't. It'll have to be a righty. Probably whoever has the highest slugging percentage, I would imagine. At this point, you're going for the downs. Freese is pretty decent. No, he really isn't, is he? Best hitter on the bench is Ken Berry. That's who they're going to use. Ken Berry, 9 for 21 on the season. He's only been in 9 games, but he's batting .429 in the replay. He represents the tying run at the plate. Romano very slow at first. Actually, he'd have to be replaced by the shortstop anyway if they were to tie it, so there's no reason to not bring in a pinch runner, even though he isn't the tying run. So Al Weiss will come in and run for Romano. I want to make sure I see this when I enter the game later. So Weiss at first. Sherry is 0 hold. By the way, Weiss is a star 15 stealer. Freehand with a -3. He won't be held. He's not going to steal with 2 outs and the tying run at the plate anyway. Takes his lead. Sherry a throw over there. Weiss back to the bag. Now staring in. The pitch to Ken Berry. 4-12. Tapper to short. That's going to do it. Euler shovels to Lumpy the short way. And that's the ball game. Larry Sherry, a nice job out of the pen today, holds on for the save. Denny McLain picks up the win. The final 3-1. All 3 Tiger runs on solo home runs. That might be the first time I've seen that this season. Well, thank you, Kenyon. Thank you, everyone. Locker, his inning, a hit, a walk, 2 Ks, no runs. Sherry 1 2/3, no hits, a walk, 2 Ks, no runs. The 1-run charge to McLain. So Denny McLain with the win. His record improves to 4-1. Sherry a save. Gary Peters, the hard luck loser once again. He drops to 1-3, and they've pretty much all been hard luck losses for poor Gary Peters. Your totals on the ball game for the Tigers: 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For the White Sox, 1 run, only 4 hits, so there were no errors in the ball game. Your Spokane Chief Gary player of the game. Boy, that's tough. I can't even pick one. I hardly ever do this. In fact, I've never done this. I've done co-MVPs before. But I'm going to call it a 3-way tie between Cash, Horton, and Freehand, the guys who hit the home runs. That was their runs right there. Bam, bam, bam. So those guys are your Chief Spokane Gary players of the game. Honorable mention, Denny McLain, a very fine game, a 4-hitter. Probably if he'd have hung in there for the complete, he'd have gotten it easily. And you can make a good case for him to get it anyway. And thank you, Mike and Franklin. Thanks, everybody. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's been fun. It's been my pleasure, to be sure. Tomorrow's ball game, I'll be back at the 1:30 p.m. Pacific time start time. That's going to be, the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Cincinnati Reds. And we got another good pitching matchup. Don Sutton versus Milt Pappas. Pappas leads the National League in strikeout to walk ratio right now by a wide margin. I think it's 12-1 or something ridiculous like that. And hey, Keith, good to see you. Well, that's all right, Keith. You can always catch the replay. Well, I'm going to get out of here, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably veg on the couch. Let that huge lunch absorb, you know what I mean? Thanks again, guys. See you tomorrow. Spokane Steve wishing you all a pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody.